Space weather update, our sun just erupted with an X-class flare. This isn't just a random solar flare. The sun has been building up energy and now it is escalating. I'm Sarah Starr, your galactic guide, here with your space weather update for February the 1st. This active region is responsible for that X-class solar flare. It did not come out of nowhere because before this flare erupted, that same region released multiple C-class flares. It's magnetically complex and an M6 flare. So there's clear signs of rising instability in this region for sure. Multiple M-class flares are still firing off after. These are the solar flares that we have had thus since today, and it is only 12:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we already had several M-class flares from region 4366, an X-class flare, and then more M-class flares piled right on top. So are these Earth-directed? NOAA reports that none of these solar flares have any Earth-directed components, but the data is still being analyzed because it's very, very new. They do not have the models up to date yet. So later in the day, hopefully they get their stuff on track and then I'll be able to present it to you if there is indeed any Earth-directed components. But so far they're saying no. But this is that region 4366. So we're going to take a look at what this region looks like and how it's developing. This is what that region looks like. It's in beta, delta, and gamma range. Slowly it is rising in sign, and you can see it is very complex. It's very tight knit in there. So we do have a higher probability of having another X-class flare from here, and the proton percentage is also rising, meaning if any Earth-directed solar components come out of this, we could slip into another solar radiation storm, and those aren't fun. And if there was a CME that was involved in any of those M-class flares or that X-class flare, we could expect to see some higher geomagnetic activity here in the next 24 to 72 hours. But we're still waiting on the data. This region is also increasing in the number of sunspots in the intermediate regions and on the outlining sides as well. So definitely we have to look out for this one because it is going to be Earth-directed in the next coming of days. And while yes, our sun is peppered with a lot of different sunspots, none of these have any activity that is going along with them. Minor C-class flares, but yeah, it's definitely 4366. Yet again, probably mid-week we'll have a Earth-directed component here if it does indeed release, or we can see decay within that region. Either way, we're gonna watch it. From that same region, we're logging in that M5 solar flare that just popped off after that X-class flare, and we're getting additional radio blackouts on top of it. So it's showing us that this region is very active. It's still discharging. It's not done yet. We don't really have any large coronal holes. This is our little tiny coronal hole right over here, but we do have a squiggly little filament right here. If you see these like white tiny little lines, this is on the topper of the northern hemisphere here, but what we're looking at is we do have a filament that is Earth-directed right now. It doesn't look like there's too much of a huge probability of it lifting off, but whenever they are Earth facing, we do have to watch what the filaments do, especially when the rest of the sun is kind of quiet, except for that region right here, 4366. When you see progression like this from C-class flares to M-class flares to X-class flares to back-to-back M-class flares, what this showing us is that we have stress on our magnetic field right now, and it is just reorganizing itself, and then it's probably still gonna pop off. So within the next week, are we gonna see a large geomagnetic storm? We don't know. So the Earth effects that these solar flares do have upon us are often tech and signal disruptions, along with those radio blackouts whenever we do have eruptions here on the sun. We also see sleep disturbances because you're affected by everything that is coming in through our weakened magnetic field because you're bioelectrical, you're going to absorb it. And with that comes sleep disturbances and nervous system disruptions and emotional volatility because it's also a full moon today. Now that full moon is going to be mixed with the adrenaline that you're getting from the solar flares. Because while there may not be any Earth-directed components, you're still getting photons that are being blasted at you. Remember, not everybody is going to feel this the same, but the patterns are consistent. This region is rotating into a more Earth-facing position, and that's going to mean that those next flares are going to carry a higher chance of having any Earth-directed components, geo-effective positions on Earth specifically. So 24 to 72 hours, that's going to be the window to watch. But that's not all, because our full moon is in Leo and Aquarius energy today. So it's like this access point of very hard truth and then mind control. Leo's going to want authenticity and courage, while that Aquarius energy is really going to push us us towards future thinking. With the Aquarius influence, what you're going to be feeling is mentally fast right now. So everything's going to be spinning where you can suddenly see all of the patterns. But you could be emotionally detached or vice versa. Emotionally loud, mentally scattered. But this too shall pass, because there are two lanes that you can choose with this full moon. Lane 1, this is going to be spiraling, overstimulation, chaos, irritability. This is what Neptune in Aries is kind of screaming at you to like jump into as well. So the Leo full moon is telling you to take courage, take power, but don't spiral out of control, because the other timeline that you could step into is something that has a lot more clarity, where you regulate your body, where you see the bigger picture, but you're not emotionally getting into it. You know what I mean? So there's going to be strong boundaries with the people who have done their work. You need decisive action, but not the drama. So what is the best way that you can use this full moon today? Well, the best use of this is honestly to tell the truth today. What you want to do is tell the truth on everything that you have been avoiding without the drama, with a lot of maturity into this, but do it without the performance. Let it be simple, let it be direct. That's going to get your message across. The next big activations that are coming is Uranus is going to be direct into Taurus. So this is going to shift stability, money, finances, value, body signals, all of the above. Plus February 13th, we're getting into some really powerful energy in the eclipses afterwards. But what's happening at the end of February is going to be key. So make sure that you follow, because I will be giving you drip by drip what is going to be happening. If you want to know how all of this hits in your chart, head over to my website, sarahstarofficial.com. I do natal chart readings. I also do Starseed origin readings. I tap into Akashic records, and I also do higher consciousness sessions. Everything is tailored to you, your path, your mission, and then how you work in the world. I'm Sarah Star, here with your space weather update for February 1st. Let me know in the comments how this is all affecting you. Did you feel the X-class flare? The burst of energy is here for you. Make sure you use it wisely. Follow for more.